Today is Friday, and we have been discussing about some of these astrological charts, and what we understood from most of them, astrology is like you did some karma in the back, and you end up suffering today. Okay, that's the theme. And there are multiple stories, multiple documentations which tells us that you suffer because of what you did in the past. And we don't have to go back long, but in our lifestyle itself, when we look at our own lifestyle and when we look at what we did in the past, and that is the reason why we suffer today. It's like you do the mistake, you try to do something which will be the reason for you suffering at a later stage. Okay, so this phenomena or this concept or this knowledge that we have gained actually goes back from your previous lives, and it comes from generations. Okay, so when we talk about generations, then normally what happens is we take the male's lineage. We don't lineage. Okay, so we don't look at the female's part of it. The reason for that, from a scientific point of view, when you look at it, we have this X and Y chromosomes, and it is the Y chromosomes, when it is a combination of Y chromosome. Okay, only then what will happen is you will get a male. If it is same YY or XS, it is a female offspring. So that way you need that one Y one, so that you get a male progeny, and that's how the family is thinking. That's why males are given importance for genetic order. And this has been going on. We have debates, all those things. That's fine, but this is the scientific explanation for it. And there is one study that has happened, like in rats, if I'm not wrong. They did it some time back, quite years back, and they found out that rats could remember like something. They gave a shock to a rat when it wanted to take a piece of food, and it had a specific color. Okay, and up to 7 generations. Okay, those rats never approached that particular thing that was colored like that because it gave a shock. That means up to 7 generations, these rats were able to remember what has happened. Okay, so, and I was just astonished to hear that. And we talk about 7 generation of when you do something else, this runs for 7 generations. Now we have two concepts. One, a test done on rats, and then when we have this genetical model which comes from the, and then this epics and stories, itihas, which tell us that up to 7 generations it can affect. And we always have seen snakes as we always call up Sarpa doshas, right? That is very famous. And Rahu, Ketu, given that, and we all get worried. Okay, there are so many Sarpa doshas that are there and nothing. So when you put all these things together, okay, when you put all these things together, and then try to understand, okay, where does it come from, what it comes from, and that gives us a lot of picture about or make sense about the life that we are living in. So when dharma and adharma, that is the essence of the entire life, be it any religion, any caste and other things. So how do you withhold the dharma and the adharma? So dharma is where you are righteous in doing all the things. Okay, whether it is goes against you or not, and that is, and you go by that rule. That is dharma. So we have seen Harishchandra, who was a king, and he was tested to the core, where he had to charge for his own son for the, in the graveyard. So he stuck to that dharma. He didn't what you call make any headway for him. So this dharma and adharma concept is what keeps on following ages of, and Ramayanam, Mahabharatam, okay, the Bhagavad Gita portion of it, and many of the Puranas, everything talks about this only. So there's a very thin line between dharma and adharma, because it changes according to the situation. Okay, so that's how it is. So you have to apply it logically, whether it is right or wrong. Okay, so when you do that, that is where you are supposed to be following the law of nature. Okay, so that's how it goes on. So now when I went into this, then the starting of Mahabharata. Okay, if somebody starts to look at Mahabharata, and there is a small story about how Mahabharata started. Okay, and it is based on revenge reasoning. Okay, the Dharma Shastra about it. What's strange about this story is Mahabharatam has finished, and just one generation down the line, they pick up the adharma's concept. Okay, that's the beauty about this particular episode that I am doing. Okay, so how does it work? Okay, let's see. There is a King Parikshit. Let's start from here. So there's a king called King Parikshit. Okay, and he's ruler of Hastinapur. Okay, he is the son of Abhimanyu. He goes into a tower and locks himself. Okay, he goes and locks himself, and the entire crowd is looking at all the people in the kingdom are looking at the king, and they don't know why he is getting into a tower and locking himself. He has put a lot of securities, and everything is so secured, and that nobody can enter the room that is there in the tower. And he has been so worried, and has been walking in the room day and night, and after 7 days he is found dead in the tower, and everybody is shocked, and is bit by a snake. So then they come to know that there is a snake that has bitten him, and he has died, and they have no clue where the snake came from and where it went. And the fangs are quite big, and before the king shouted, before the king shouted and the people came, by the time the snake poison was so powerful that he died. And this enraged the son of King Parikshit. Okay, his name is Janmejaya. That is how you pronounce it. Okay, he is the son of Parikshit king. And he so got wild when he comes to know that the snake has bitten his father and he has died. He orders for all the sages to come here and perform a snake sacrifice called Sarpa Satra, where they will read the Vedic scriptures, hymns from that, which will basically destroy all the snakes. So this is ordered by the king, and there's a big havan being made. Havan is basically a big fireplace, okay, where they put wood and they pour ghee and they burn it. And they are now the king, when he's doing it, and the sages are singing the hymns from the Vedas. And this is forcing all the snakes to come towards the Havan, to the Hastinapur. And all over the world they are coming toward Hastinapur, and as the time passes, they are falling one by one into the fire, sacrificing themselves. And when they're falling there, they are hissing, they are shouting, they are burning, things like half of some of the people in the kingdom are not happy about it. They're saying this is not right, and whatever the king is doing is not right. We don't kill animals like this. That is what a portion of the public is there. They are talking about his wives, or some of the wives are saying, "You go stop him." So no. The husband says, "No, I will not go and stop the king because it is king's order. I have to follow it. I will not do that." Like that, there's one set is not happy about. The other set of people are saying it is the deserved punishment for the snake community because they killed our king, and for what reason they killed also, it is like a useless thing that they have done. So it is good to kill the king. So there is a two set of thought process. One is saying that we should not be killed, it is not right. The other is saying what they did is right. So the conflict is going on, and the killing of the snake is continuing as the snakes are streaming in and they're jumping into the fire. And as the more snakes are coming in, they are putting in more wood and more ghee to burn heavily so that they kill more snakes in a shorter period of time. And this is happening, a lot of people are around, the stench of the burning snake is coming out, and this is what is happening. So this scenario is not, you imagine the kind of scenario it will be, it's like graveyard, where the bodies are burning, it's something like that is happening. And in this is happening for a number of days, and one day, one young lad comes into the crowd and he stops. He shouts on the top of his voice, "Stop all this, this is wrong." And this interruption angers Janmejaya. Janmejaya, what happens is he gets angry and said, "Who the hell you are to stop this?" Okay, that's the anger that he has got. I am doing this yajna as a king, and this is what the reason is also justified. So who the hell you are to stop? He said, "I am Astika. I am the nephew of Vasuki." Vasuki is the snake, and everybody stops listening because Vasuki is a very powerful snake, the king of Nagas. Okay, so that snake, he is the nephew of that, and he says, "My father was Jartkaru. Okay, and my mother was a Naga, so I am half human and half snake. So when I am half human, I am neither enemy of the human nor enemy of the snake. So I am in between. And I am saying that this is not justified what you are doing." And the king gets perplexed, he gets more angry, and they said, "How can you say I'm doing the justice?" He is proud that he is doing the justice for his father's death. And Astika says, "See, your father has died because of a curse." And that brings everybody surprised in the crowd. The king and the sages are surprised. And he said, "What curse my father has got?" He says, "Your father 7 days back went into a forest, and there was a sage who was doing his meditation, in his own deep meditation. Your father, don't know what mischief he had in his head, he went with a dead snake and put on his neck. And this was seen by the the followers of the sages, disciples were there, and they saw the king doing it. They couldn't speak to the king from stopping him because he is the king, and but they cursed him. They said, "What you did is utterly disgraceful, and we curse you for doing this action. With 7 days you will die." And this is why Parikshit went into a tower, hid himself there with all the protection. Now this is what happened, and this is what curse has happened. And taking this opportunity, who will go and kill? Because there is a curse that has to be executed, and who will go and do this particular job? So this Takshaka was there, okay? Takshaka was there. Takshaka was there, and he is one of the snakes, Nagas. He took up the responsibility, and he hid himself inside the fruit as a small snake, went inside when the food was given to the king, And when the king bite the fruit, he came out of that, enlarged into the normal form, put his fangs into the king's body. By the time king shouted, the snake has already poison has already gone through the entire body, and king is dead. And the snake again forms a smaller, takes a smaller form, and slithers away from that place. So what happens is, nobody is aware. Okay, nobody is aware that this has happened. Okay, snake has come, bit him, and has gone. And now the reason is there why the king. And now it is, if that was the reason, then why did this Takshaka came and he did it? What was his reason to come inside? He then Astika responds to this question, and he says it is because of your ancestors. That surprises. So everybody is surprised. He said, my ancestors are Arjuna, Abhimanyu, all the great souls that are there, Bhima and this are, and why will they be involved into this? And he says, yeah, the kingdom that you are there right now called Khandavaprastha. In this place, there is a forest called Khandavaprastha. There is a forest called Khandavaprastha. So this Arjuna has ordered to be burned and cleared to make the place for kingdom. And while doing this, a lot of snakes got burned. It was a home for snake, and a lot of snakes got burned, and a lot of snakes became orphaned. Some got handicapped, and this is the reason Takshaka got angry and he wanted to take revenge, and he saw the opportunity and he took the revenge. Justified. Okay, now what Jaim they were doing, it is also justified. What is this Takshaka is doing is also justified. Both are taking revenges. Okay, now let's look at generations of problems that we come through. When you come through a lot of problems, the 7th generation of problems, see, generation and generation, how the problems comes in. So Astika tells Janmajaya that this snake revenge will only continue because they will come and again they will take revenge, and this will be something, one more Kurukshetra. Do you want to do this? So he says, stop it. Okay, he says, stop it. We don't want this. So he says, this is not, from your point of view, your order seems to be justified. From the other side also seems to be justified. So it is just vengeance that you are taking, it is not dharma. Okay, this is where the dharma concept should come up. What you have to understand here is, dharma, even though it is just, the Kurukshetra war is just over, it is just one more generation here, and they forgot dharma adharma. Okay, and they were doing what they want. So this is the reason that we have to keep on reading the Itihas books and other things. Remember what other elders did, what is the story behind it, and how we have to behave today. So Astika differentiates between dharma, righteousness, and revenge. Revenge is because you did eye for eye. That is what is revenge. Dharma is, should we do it or not? Is there a cause for it or not? So what would be in the dharma in this case? Arjuna burned the forest. Okay. Snake died. Okay. But he didn't do it awarely. He just did it because he wanted that place. He burned it. Okay. That's okay. So he is not directly responsible for the damage done to the snakes' families. Now, from Parikshit said, his father died, snake bit. He was not aware that why his father has died, and he ordered it, and so he is also safe. Yeah, he is also perfectly right. But is it right? Not right. Why not right? Because both the cases, okay, when you talk about Takshaka, he wanted to revenge his family's loss. Arjuna didn't know that he is doing that. And this person didn't know why he has come and attacked him. Without knowing the reason, he wanted to vanish all the snake's family. So both were wrong because of we didn't have the knowledge. Okay, so this is childish, right? And the king putting snake on the sage's face neck is also childish. What the idea is, like, you can be grown up, you can have the most powerful, but you can also do some idiotic things which will repercussion in a business. So you have to be. That is why we look at for older people for wisdom. Okay, and Astika also asks him. He says, shocking. He says, "Do you know your Pandavas went to hell? Kauravas went to heaven." And that shocks everybody. That is, what? What are you saying? We are such great family. No, no, this is what happened. You went to hell. You had to experience the hell before going to heaven. Other people went to the heaven directly. Now this also surprises this. He said, then what is right? What is wrong? What is dharma? What is dharma? All these questions come within few generations, not even too long. Imagine after 5,000 years, we are also like that only, right? We don't know what it is. We have to read Bhagavad Gita and other things to understand what it is, and then we have to live that kind of a right life. So this is what happens. Now if you put this thing into the place when Arjuna burned the forest and the snakes. Now if you come back to today's world, we Hindus, one Santana Dharma, what we do is we pray before clearing the land. Have you noticed it? No, we normally pray to the God. We actually pray to the nature and we say sorry to the snakes, the plants and other things, animals, the rats, mouses, insects that are there. We say sorry to them because we say that we are sorry. We are going to use this place and we are extremely sorry for the disturbance and please excuse us. Then that is how you pray to the nature. Then you go and occupy that nature. And these days we have forgotten that thing. Okay. We just do puja just because we want to do it. It's not. So when we have build a house, first thing we do is we do Bhumi puja. We dig, we say Bhumi. Bhumi is earth. So we say, we do that. We pray to the God saying that I'm going to dig you, I'm going to hurt you, I'm going to kill millions of living beings that are going to disturb that. And I want this place to live, so kindly permit me to construct the house and finish it properly. That's how we are supposed to pray. I don't know how many of you pray like that. You pray it because of your materialistic idea, saying that I need a house, 4-bedroom house. That is the materialistic idea you have. You have that materialistic idea, but this is the prayer behind it. Why we do this puja is to take the permission from the nature. Then we go ahead and so that continues till date. Okay, so that is why the Naga doshas, all these things hits it. If you notice your chart when they are reading, some of the astrologers say you killed snake when the house was being constructed in your family. Suddenly somebody will say something like that. Okay, and they'll say there was one ant hill and they destroyed that when the house was constructed. So this is what is happening to your family. But the ant hill, when you talk about, there are millions of ants that are living there, right? Termites are living there. And feeding on that, there are millions of other living things are living there. And you destroy the whole thing and construct your house. So that thing will affect you. So that is why you have to do puja. Okay, puja, say sorry, because you knowingly you are doing that, so you are saying, I'm extremely sorry, I'm doing this. I need this house. So when you construct out, until unless you really need, you are not supposed to construct. That's the idea. If you need it, you construct. Nowadays it's not like that. We are greedy. I have one house, I want one more house, and I will get rent from this. So today I want 40,000, I want 1 lakh. This is what is from the rent itself. That's the idea we are praying. So we have lost that. So we have to come to that if you want to do that. Okay, so when you do that, and this is what it is, and these are the lessons that we have to learn. Okay, you can't forget your ancestors' knowledge. You should not forget what they have done. Then Astika also really once he says that you went to hell, so then they come. So then what has happened? What happened in Mahabharata? What is the dharma, adharma? Within few generations they forgot. They are not. So then they say then. Astika says there's the Visvasampayana. The sage is there, and he took the directly from sage Vyasar. He picked up all the knowledge from him about Mahabharata. So he would be the best person who can come and explain. He picked up the entire verses from him, and I believe he added more. I think he made some 24,000 and odd verses of the Mahabharata to make it more clearer, and he presented it, and that is what people know about him, and he is sent. So people send him for the sages and says, please come and explain us. And by this time there's a decision taken. So he is the judge, right? The king is the judge. So Janmejaya says, halt. Okay, he puts stay on all the yagnas that is happening. So snakes are relieved. They try to go back to their places, and the sage comes from a distant place and he says, I will narrate the whole Mahabharata to you. That's the starting of Mahabharata. Okay, so he starts telling the importance about everything that happened, the meaning, the complex concept of dharma, adharma, and he starts telling the story to the general public, and he finishes, and people from there they pick up and they start living the righteous way. So with this story, what we understand is like we have to respect the nature. We have to be very ethical in doing things. You can't just do it has to be righteous. You cannot be doing something just because you are getting some materialistic benefit out of it, which is quite rampant in this world, and it is happening there. So this story will tells you there's all these things. So you want to reflect, and this reflects in your chart. When I'm reading astrological chart, this reflects in your chart. So what you did in the past, what is happening, why you are struggling, what are the remedies. When you talk for remedies, and all those things comes in. Okay, so if you listen to my Raghu's presentation that I did, I think yesterday or something like that. So you could see that how Rahu behaves in every house, on the 12 houses. So you will pick up. So when you pick up that, then you see the history of it. Then you will see where the problem comes from. Okay, and most of the time it is we who do the mistake, and then we suffer in the same life. You don't have to go to. You suffer in the same life by doing that. So if you have not done that mistake, you will not suffer. Okay, so I would stop at this. I'll continue with this epic Mahabharata in bits and pieces in combination with the astrological readings, so that it makes more sense for you all. And now at least I think I brought up the picture saying that why we suffer is because of something has happened in the past and which was not right. The decision that we took was not right, and we are suffering, and that is what you call this small story or small story about Parikshit tells you everything from that onwards. So I hope it was very interesting. I continue putting such things so that it's more enlightenment for people to understand, to live right, how important it is. Okay? Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.